Tirisfall Glades. This land has seen many conflicts over the years. Before the wars of the Alliance and Horde, before the Scourge brought Lordaeron to its knees, before even the Great Troll Wars, an even greater war was fought for the entire planet of Azeroth, between the Titan Keepers and the minions of the Old Gods. During the War of the Black Empire, when the minions of the Old Gods held dominion over Azeroth, a great battle was fought in the land of Tirisfall. One of the keepers, named Tyr, fought an Old God minion named Zakaj. Tyr managed to overpower and defeat Zakaj, burying his body in a tomb underneath Blightwater Lake in Tirisfall. Tyr was fatally wounded, however, and later died. Thus this land became known as Tirisfall, or Tirisfall. Many years later, when the humans inhabited Tirisfall, a war was fought between the humans and the Amani Troll Empire. Together, with the help of the High Elves from Quel'Thalas, the humans overthrew the Troll Empire. Thoradin, king of the humans of the Eastern Kingdoms, stumbled upon the tomb of Zakaj, buried beneath Blightwater Lake, awakening the Old God minion by accident. With his dying breath, Thoradin drove his blade, Stromkar the Warbreaker, into Zakaj's head, imprisoning the Old God minion for a time. Thoradin lost his life in his last-ditch effort to protect Tirisfall. In the expansion of Legion, warrior heroes are sent to speak with the spirit of Thoradin to hear his story of these events. Thoradin sends the hero into the tomb to retrieve the sword, Warbreaker, and deal with Zakaj for good. The warrior was successful in defeating the Old God minions, who were empowered by the recent stirring of Zakaj. The warrior retrieves the sword and deals with Zakaj for good, reclaiming the Warbreaker to later be used in the final conflict with the Burning Legion. After the Troll Wars, the humans of the Eastern Kingdoms built the kingdom of Lordaeron, with the capital city of the southern part of Tirisfall. To defend against the threats, the humans and the High Elves formed a group known as the Council of Tirisfall that would defend Azeroth from external threats. The last Guardian Medivh was a part of this group, but he was possessed by the demon lord Sargeras. Medivh opened the dark portal that brought the orcs to Azeroth. What followed is many years of war between orcs and humans, the events of Warcraft 1 and 2, or the First and Second War, eventually resulting in the sacking of the human city of Stormwind in the south of the Eastern Kingdoms. Lordaeron, however, pushed back the orc invasion and eventually won the war. When Prince Arthas was sent to deal with a plague ravaging Lordaeron, the prince found the origins of the plague in the necromancer Kel'Thuzad. The plague turns the living into mindless undead. After killing Kel'Thuzad, Arthas discovers a dreadlord named Mal'Ganis is also behind the plague. When Arthas discovers that the plague has been distributed to his people in Stratholme City, Arthas purges the city of his very own citizens, marking a turning point for the young prince. Arthas pursued the dreadlord to Northrend, a frozen continent in the north of Azeroth, where he defeated Mal'Ganis by taking the rune blade Frostmourne, a weapon designed by the Lich King with the power to raise and control the undead scourge. The rune blade consumed Arthas and turned him into a Death Knight, a weapon for the scourge. When Prince Arthas returned to his kingdom, he was welcomed as a hero, but he brought only the scourge and the downfall of Lordaeron. Lordaeron stood against many outside foes over the years, but sadly would fall to one of its own princes. This forever altered Tirisfall Glades. After the fall of Lordaeron, Arthas would continue to destroy the land of Tirisfall. He killed the Paladins of the Silver Hand, once the order to which he belonged, including his friend and mentor, Uther the Lightbringer. Arthas then set his attention to the northern lands, and destroyed the High Elf's land of Quel'Thalas. Before the gates of Silvermoon, the elven capital, Arthas killed the Ranger General Sylvanas Windrunner. Arthas then raised Sylvanas to be a Banshee Queen, to serve at the Lich King's command. The Scourge moved further into Silvermoon and destroyed the Sunwell, the source of magic for the elves. After some time, the Lich King started losing control of the Scourge. Sylvanas, once enslaved to the Lich King, was now free from his control and worked in secret to overthrow Arthas. Sylvanas took the land of Tirisfall from Arthas and claimed a land for the Forsaken. In the graveyard of Death Kneel, a town in the eastern part of Tirisfall, rises a new Forsaken, a once human native of Lordaeron that died recently during the plague, but now rises from undeath, free from the Lich King's control, and loyal to Sylvanas and the Forsaken people. The new Forsaken travels to Death Kneel, where it is discovered that not all Forsaken are so willing to accept their fate. One of these Forsaken is Lillian Voss. Lillian was a part of a fanatical group known as the Scarlet Crusade. The Crusade's purpose is to take back their homeland and eradicate the Scourge for good. The Forsaken is tasked with ridding Death Kneel of a spider infestation in a gold mine to the north, as well as the rot-brained zombies, who are too far gone to be of any use to the Forsaken. As the Forsaken quests throughout Tirisfall, they help rid the land of human farmers, still lingering after the Scourge. They help also in killing Worgen scouts from Gilneas that encroach on the land. The new Forsaken helps the Apothecary Society in developing a new plague for the Forsaken to use against their enemies. The plague has been used in recent battles like Terran Mill, the assault on the Wrathgate, and in the Battle of Lordaeron. The Scarlet Monastery still lies to the northeast of the land. The Forsaken meets Lillian Voss again and helping her take revenge on the Scarlet Crusade for abandoning her to this fate. The Crusade is still a threat to the Forsaken and will need to be dealt with inside the monastery. In recent years, the war and conflict in Tirisfall Glades has only gotten worse. Sylvanas started a war with the Night Elves of Kalimdor, in which he burned down their capital tree of Teldrassil. This terrible act resulted in a full-out invasion of Tirisfall, in which the Alliance brought its full might against the Horde at the gates of the Undercity. The Alliance was eventually victorious in the battle, but Sylvanas released the Blight in the entire city as a trap. Now the whole land of Tirisfall is blighted, burnt, and deserted, a wasteland, a ghost of its former glory. It is unclear if the land will ever be livable again. Tirisfall Glades has seen an immense amount of war and conflict over the years, whether it's the war of the Old Gods and the Titan Keepers, the Troll Wars of the humans and the Amani Empire, the wars of human and orcs, the Plague of the Scourge, or the wars between the factions. The land of Tirisfall may never know peace.